Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our new Crafty Hour. It's Deanna here at Clipper Street, and I am just going to load up. We are going to get started on our new Crafty Hour. So welcome, everybody. This was a popular one, so I'm really excited to work it through with you. I've got some ideas that I'm going to do to change these up just a little bit. So just going to hang tight, let everybody log on, and then we will get started here in just a couple of minutes. All right. I did log on a minute early so everybody can find the event. Again, if you click that you're interested or click that you are going, depends on your device, you will get notification when we go live. So happy Thursday. Welcome, everybody. Already 1 week into May, I tell you, before we know it, Christmas will be here. Just seems to be flying by. Kind of a little scary to me, just a little. All right, we have a lot to do today. We are going to try and do 5 cards. So I'm going to explain a little bit about this. Simple Stories has been doing this for years, probably I'm going to say about 10 years, because Jody from Simple Stories used to come to our store to teach, and she actually used kits that were these kits. Now, what Simple Stories does is they design kits that as a store we can put together and sell. So this is not something that we have designed. This was actually designed by Jody, who is an employee at Simple Stories. So I wanted to give a shout out. You know, I like to give credit where credit is due. So she designed 10 cards, and Courtney and I just split them. I'm going to take the first 5. She's going to take the second 5. But there were a few that, I'm going to be honest, were not my favorite. So I am going to change a couple of them up slightly. You have lots of product that you can, of course, create more or change them up as you desire. Some of them I'm going to keep fairly similar, but I'm going to add some foils. Now, whenever we add foils, those are optional. You do not need to add the foil if you don't want. I am going to be adding the foil, but that is totally up to you, 100%. Now, in your class information, we gave you the homework, which was the cutting guide. Now, we posted this as a PDF. It was on Crafty Hour Creations. It was super easy. This cutting probably took me no more than 15 minutes. So we went through, did all of the 6x8 paper. We also did all of the 12x12 paper. That is crucial to have done if you're going to keep up with this Crafty Hour. Because like I said, we're going to aim for 5 cards. They're fairly simple, but you do need to have your papers cut. Then you have 2 packs of ephemera. You have a floral and you have a sentiments. I would suggest opening both of them up, having them in 2 different piles, okay, a florals and a sentiment, because you're going to be finding those die cuts today. Now, they're fairly easy. Again, I went through and found all of mine. They did not take a long time, but you are going to have to make sure that you have those handy. And then you're going to have half a pack of the glossy enamel dots, and we're going to be using those on our cards today. And I'm going to walk you through what we've done just so that we know that we have enough of these. Of course, you can always go back and add more, purchase more. This product line had a lot of extra product. There was rub-ons, there was other die cuts, there was so much. So hopefully all your homework is ready. I am going to show you what you need to find for card number 1. And we're going to start going through all of our goodies and find those. So the first thing I need you to do is find one of the 12x12s that you cut to create your cards. So we had a whole bunch of these that were cut, and you can say that they told you to fold it in half. the whole kabang, everything was there. So you're going to need one of these, and these have a map print on one side, a solid on the other. There is also a solid piece of green that you are going to need. This is the map side on the other. This one, I'm just going to bring this back in so that you can see we're using one of these, and we're using this piece right here, which is 5 1/4 by 2. So you're going to need that. Then we're going to be using this pattern paper, and this is from the journal card. You cut it. It is kind of a, I want to say like a mocha background. It's not really pink. It's not really brown. It's kind of like mocha, and it's got all of the animals, butterflies, fawns, mushrooms on top. And then I'm going to have you find the strip of green dot paper. So hopefully you've got those kind of organized so that you can find them. Again, all of this was from your homework page. If you have not done your homework, please do that first before you join in on this crafty hour. Now I'm also going to bring in some gold foil, because for this card, I'm going to use gold foil. It is optional, okay? So please don't feel you have to do that. Now I'm going to get started with the actual building, and then I'll tell you what die cuts that you're going to need. So we have these 4 papers, all right? And it's not very difficult to find. We really don't have that much papers. I went and pulled them all, and they were pretty easy. And I'm going to talk about the card to begin with. So they are using their solid paper card. And as you know, one side is going to have a pattern, and one side is going to be plain. First question I always had when I used to teach these classes was, which side do I use? And that is totally up to you. We are going to cover the majority of it. So if you want a pattern on the front and solid inside, then please do that. If you want solid on the outside and pattern on the in, that is okay, but make sure that the pattern inside is kind of going the right direction. Now, what I like to do, and I'm just going to grab it, and you can do this after. If you have scraps of the solid, you can go ahead and add a piece inside after all your crafty hour is done, and that could be what you write on, all right? Or you can add a white cardstock or a brown cardstock. I tend to just look at what solids. Oh, look at this. I have a piece of green left. So I might put that solid inside. So I am not writing on the print. Okay, but it is totally up to you. Sometimes I use it the other way, and I have the pattern on the outside. I just want you to be aware that you are making sure that whatever you want to do, you have the correct orientation of that print. So for me, I'm going to put the print inside, because I will put a solid paper on the outside, or sorry, on the inside. I also find adding that solid extra paper gives it a little bit of stability. Okay, now if you are going to just go ahead and glue it, you can do that. I am going to add some gold foil. This is optional. You do not have to do it, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use the gold foil. If you are not using gold foil, that is okay. You can choose a different color foil, or you can simply go straight on. It's totally fine. You don't have to. So I'm going to cut this paper to just under 5 1/2, 5 3/8 by just over 4. And this is just a piece of gold foil. I like to use these panels that I purchased from Hunky Dory, because they're quick and easy. And before I do any attaching, I'm going to hold this up and go, does it fit? That fits. Does it fit on the card? It fits on the card. Then I'm going to glue it all together. And that's just going to give it that pop of gold. Reminder, this is optional. It was not in your kit. It is an option. I think Courtney wrote it down for me because I mentioned I was going to use foil as well. And so she put to grab some foils. And of course, they can be any color, right? With this one, we could use a really nice green foil. We could use a brown foil. This is where you want to pick up those packs that are the Miri packs like that have all the variety. And then you have choices. Sometimes those choices are hard, right? Sometimes too many choices. Ooh, that could be tricky. Okay, so you may have already glued it together. Mine is now done. Okay, I'm going to attach that on there, and that pop of gold really just adds to it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these two, and we're just going to glue them together. Just nice and plain, dotty, right down the middle. And I'm going to use the solid this time. If you want to use that pattern, you can. I found it just a tad bit too busy, so I am not going to use the solid or the pattern. I'm going to use the solid side. You have the choice. You have choices. Always choices, right? All right. So we'll put that right in the middle. Now, my option, I would like to add a little bit of gold foil behind the green. So I'm going to cut another piece of gold foil. And I'm going to cut that to just over 2 inches by 5 1/4. Again, this is optional. Sometimes it's good for you to do it the way they did and then see how I and Courtney change things up and see what you prefer. Because just because we change it up doesn't mean it's right. It does not. It just means it's what we like. All right. And you got to remember that Simple Stories put together this kit. They don't have gold foil, so they can't add things to their kit that they don't have. All right, so that works for me. I've got a little bit of gold on the top and the bottom, nothing on the side. They are the same size. So just go ahead and glue those together. Okay. And that's optional. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You're ahead of the game if you don't do it. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a sec. Now I am going to bring in my foam tape, and while I'm letting that just dry for a minute, I'm going to show you what die cuts you are going to need to find. Okay, these two are in your florals, and these two, put that little fluff out of the way there, are in your sentiments. So we have a large one. This will be easy to find because it's nice and big. We have a large one that is the little bunny hair with all the florals. And then we have a daisy. Now there is a lot of daisies. I don't think it matters which daisy you take. You take the daisy you like. We actually will have a lot of daisies left over. As a matter of fact, let me grab some. Whew. Oh, my leftovers. Look how many leftovers there are. There are a bunch of daisies left over. And I am going to be using some daisies, but look at all my leftovers. There's so many in there. So choose, I chose one that is smaller. There is a really big one. Those are the die cuts you're going to need. And then from the sentiments, we want this one that is green that says hi. And this one that says wonderful. So just 4 die cuts out of all that bunch you have. I'm going to put those off to the side. I'm going to go back and I'm going to now put foam tape on the back of this strip. So we're going to grab some foam tape. All right. So I'm going to put one piece. Oops, I didn't pull it quite long enough. I usually get it right on. Oopsie. Come back. Come back. There we go. Okay, we got that one done. I'm just going to add a little one there. All right, so I'm going to put this right in the middle. Oh my gosh, it already looks better. With that foil, it just pops. So right in the middle. Then what we're going to do is we are going to find our, am I straight? Oh, I think so. We're going to find our, I'm making sure I'm straight, our bunny rabbit. Okay, and we are going to attach this, and I'm going to do this flat, believe it or not. on the far right side. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on it. If I need to squeeze a little bit of foam tape here and there, I can do that. I know it's really going to sit mostly in the middle, so I just added glue there. And I'm going to put it kind of like that. It might come down just a little. Okay. And if I go, ooh, I need a little bit of foam tape, I'm just going to grab maybe a couple of little squares. How about I add one little foam tape here? It helps to kind of get it in place first and then see if you need any foam tape. Maybe a little one up top as well. Okay, so I just glued that flat over onto the far right. And again, things that I look for, and it could be me being picky, but I didn't want any of that dot to show through there. If I slid this down, and I can't now because I've attached it, but that's just a little thing that I noticed. When I came down too far, I saw the dotty, didn't want to see the dotty. Okay, now we're going to take the word hi, and we're going to add some foam tape on that. So I'm going to put a piece behind the word hi, and I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so it is on the green dotty, right next to our hair. And then I'm going to take the word wonderful, and I am going to attach that. I think for this one, let's grab out our foam strips. And I'm going to attach that. And of course, you can put this anywhere you want. I'm going to just kind of squeeze it kind of like this, so it does overlap all those pieces like that. Okay, that leaves me with the daisy, so I'm going to take another foam tape, and I'm going to put that right like that, just in the top corner there. Just a little bit. Okay, so the last thing we need to do now is add a couple little dots. Now, personally, this is just me, I like to have my dots in 3s. I noticed on this card they only did them in 2s. So I am not going to add extras because Courtney might need them. So I'm just going to add 2s, and then when the whole time is over, I can go back and add if I want. So for this, we're going to take one large brown, and I'm going to put it right down here, and I'm going to take one baby green. And I am going to put that maybe right beside it, kind of like that. And then if I want to add more, I can always add more once it's done. So card number 1 is finished. Okay, you guys did all the hard work by using the homework guide, did all the work. And I really like it, that pop with the green, or with the gold. I really found it just really popped it. You may not have done that, so if you haven't, you can kind of see what the difference is when you look at mine. Just adds a little bit. All right, so one card is done. We're going to move on to card number 2. Card number 2, super easy. Super easy. This is what we need you to do for card number 2. Okay, this is kind of the burgundy color card base, so we need to have that one. Its official name is called Redwood. So this is what we cut for Redwood. We need to have a Redwood. It's kind of a burgundy color. Then I want you to find this plaid. The back side, in case you have, sometimes you have to flip them over. This is what the back side looks like. It was the 3x4s. So I need the plaid, kind of an orangey plaid. I need the piece that we cut that was from the sandstone. This is kind of a rusty, almost a terracotta color, and it has the map on it. So this was from our solids. And then you should have had this card here that says Adventure Awaits. And this was one of the ones that it had you cut out that says Adventure Awaits. So those are the 4 pieces of paper. We'll get to the die cuts in a minute. And I will be using foil on this one as well. Now this one would go really nice with copper foil, but any of them will do. If you were watching our Together at Twos, we've been showing you tons of foil and glitter options, and all of those you can use on this one. So I'm going to bring in my gold foil again. Just using a little bit of that will really change it. So again, this card now opens up like this. So because my words inside are going to go sideways on this one, I'm actually going to use my word front face forward, and then it's going to be nice and plain inside. You decide which works for you. They're both going to work, no problem. Okay. Now, if you are not doing your gold foil, you can go ahead and glue that right on front of your card, just like that. Okay, go ahead and glue it. I am going to use my gold foil, and we're going to go with that same measurement. Okay, same measurement as what I gave you before. Just under 5.5 by just over 4. Options. You don't have to use the gold foil. You don't have to use any foil. Do whatever works best for you. I always make sure everything fits just in case. And you can do this. Oh, that looks perfect. See, that gold just pops. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it. You can always change up card kits whenever you buy them. We get card kits from so many companies, like Photo Play, and Simple Stories has tons of card kits. But I always find that they just need a little oomph to them. You don't have to do them exactly like you see them. You have the ability to add, whether it's foil, glitter, rhinestones, make it your own. And that's what Courtney and I did. We tried to make these cards our own because they just needed a little something, something. And you do have lots of extras, so you'll be able to create more and share them on our Crafty Hour creations page. We love to see them. All right, so we should have that done. Now, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go to the next 2 papers, which is our Adventure Awaits, which is the boots. And then we also have this one. Now, we're going to trim our boots down just a little bit. If you hold it up to it, you're going to see that you're going to need to trim just about 1/4 of an inch maybe off the top. If you want to take a little off the top and a little off the bottom, you absolutely can. We need it to be just over... let me see if I can tell you. I think it's going to be about 3 3/4. Let me just look, though. Just a little off both to make it fit. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. See, we didn't have to take very much off at all. Just to make that fit. All right, so hopefully you've done that. And then we are going to add one more piece of gold foil to this. Again, this is optional. You do not have to do it. Totally up to you. This piece measures 3 1/4 by 4. So I am going to make it measure 3 1/4. We're going to go 3 3/8 by 4. And let me look. It's 4. We're going to say 4 1/8. 3 3/8 by 4 1/8. So that's with gold foil. Again, totally optional. So just over 3 1/4 by just over 4. Let's see if that fits. Perfect. So if you are doing your gold foil, that is your measurement. If you are not, then you just need to glue together. And if everything is perfect, glue it all together, whichever way you are doing it. Totally fine. The next card, I don't think I am adding foil. We'll see, but I don't think so. All right. Perfect. So now I'm just going to wait for that to dry. And while you're gluing, etc., I am going to pull up all of the die cuts you need. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where did my star go? Okay. So we're going to have a butterfly, and there is quite a few butterflies in there. So this is the butterfly I want you to find. It's super pretty, and it should be in the floral bits. And then we also are going to have in the sentiments, we're going to have the words enjoy. And then you're going to have a couple of little hearts and a star. And I think the hearts and the star might be in the sentiment pack. And of course, they're all interchangeable. So you do whatever works best for you, whichever colors you like. So we've got this butterfly, which I'm going to put here because there is quite a few butterflies in there. You're going to need the 2 hearts and the star, and you're going to need enjoy. Okay, I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to keep going so we can get through all those cards. So now I am going to take my piece, and I'm going to put some foam tape on the back. We're going to foam tape that to the center of our card. So right in the middle. And again, now you can see that gold is really going to shine through. Look how fabulous it is. All right. We are going to take the words enjoy, and we're going to attach it right up at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of foam tape on the bottom primarily. Let me show you what I mean. This is my enjoy. It's just like that, just a little piece. And we're going to put it right up in the top corner. It's going to hang over the top just a little bit. It's going to cover up the top of that one boot just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to take my butterfly and I am going to bend his wings a little bit. And I'm going to use a pop dot just, you know what? I'm going to use a couple of my baby pop dots. These are the sticky thumbs, the ones I like because they're just a great height. I'm going to put a couple of little babies right on his body, not on his wings. I've fluffed the wings, just on his body. And that is going to go right up like that. Okay. Then we've got some hearts and a star left. So I'm going to do my little star first. Little foam piece on the back, and I'm going to put my star, I'm going to put it fairly close to the word enjoy. Kind of like that. And then for the hearts, I'm going to do the big one flat. Whoops, way too much glue. Let's take some of that glue off. I'm going to do it flat there. Whoop. And then this little guy, oh gosh, I am going to need to cut a little piece of my foam strip for that. I didn't bring my micros today. That would have been handy. You always think that you leave the house with everything. I'm always missing something. Okay. And it's going to overlap it. Now for enamel dots, we're going to use both of the kind of orangey color. We're going to use a large and a medium. So again, just 2 for now. We're going to put that one there, and then we're going to put that one kind of like that. Kind of creating a little cluster there. Okay, so that is essentially the exact card that they have done. I had my pictures somewhere. My printer color was a little off. Is essentially exactly what they have done, except I just added that gold foil to pop it. That's essentially the only change I made on this one. Just added that gold foil. Okay, card 2 is done. This would be a good one for me to give to my son. He's leaving for Portugal in a couple of weeks to do some backpacking around Portugal. So that would be a good one for him. That'd be perfect for him. All right, 2 cards done. Are you ready for number 3? Let's see. So for number 3 card, what I'm going to get you to find in your pile is we've got our blue card. And again, whichever way you want it, I think I'm going to do pattern out. That's what I'm going to do on this one. So we've got our blue card. And then our green plaid. Now this one is super easy. We're going to be working mostly with die cuts. You only need this one paper for this. Okay, so just those 2, the card base and your green plaid. And we're going to just start really easy. I did not use foil on here. We're just going to put our green plaid right on top. I'm going to have the map face out, my choice, because the card opens sideways and my map inside will be crooked or sideways. So I'm just going to put that right in the center, just like that. Okay, let's talk about die cuts that you have to find. I'm going to bring these all out, and hopefully we've got them all. Okay, so we have this large one that says, "Go where the road takes you." It's quite large, fits in my palm, it's very large. We're going to have a large pink floral. This will be in your floral pack. 2 long, skinny mushrooms. 2 long, skinny mushrooms. And last but not least, a green heart. So let me get all of these. And we will get this one on. Those are all the die cut pieces I need you to find. Spread them out. I'll leave that there for a sec. And we will change that up. The next 2 cards I totally changed up. Don't have to, but I did. Okay, I'm going to start with the big one. And I am going to be stuffing a few things up at the top. So I'm going to kind of avoid foam tape at the top for now. I can go back and slide some foam tape under, but just for now, while I get everything sorted out. So I'm going to put foam tape across the bottom and foam tape in the middle. And I'm going to leave that top part just for now. Okay, I can come back and add if I need to. And this is going to sit fairly close to the bottom. Center, side to side, fairly close to the bottom. All right. This one is super quick. Now with the pink, it's going to sit right about like that. Now I'm going to chop my stem down just a bit. I'm just going to tear it because nobody's going to see it. Because I kind of want it to sit right like that. And I'm going to put some foam tape under. It's totally up to you if you want to or not. But I just need one piece of foam tape on the back of that big pink flower. And I'm just going to slide it kind of like so. Now with our mushrooms, they are going to sit kind of like this. Okay, they're going to kind of sit like this. So you can see that those stems are way too long. If I hold this up, let me see if I can lift it without dropping it. It's going to sit kind of like this. Those stems are way too long. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut those stems. We don't need them that long. So I'm going to chop and chop and just have kind of baby ones now. They just look like that. Okay. So I'm just chopped them. Now the one that faces to the right, that's the first one we're going to put. This one here, it faces kind of to the right. And just for kind of positioning, I'm going to check, and that's where I want it to go. So I'm just going to put some foam tape. I don't know, this might be too big, but let's try it. Oh, it's perfect. I'm going to put a foam square right behind the head of the mushroom. And it is going to overlap my flower. Our other guy, we'll get some foam tape on him as well. And he's going to drop down just a little, and I think I'll have him kind of like that. So kind of coming up off the top. Some mushrooms. Okay, that leaves us with the heart. So I'm going to take my green heart and I'm going to put a little baby square behind the green heart. You can use your pop dot if you like. And that is going to go right like that. Actually, I might drop it down just a bit. Yeah, like that. Where did I put my enamel dots? There they are. So for this enamel dot, we're going to take one large blue one. And I'm going to put that in the corner. And one medium brown one. And I'm going to put that like that. Okay, and then this card is done. I did not change anything up from this card. This is their original card. Nothing has changed. Are we doing okay? You guys are quiet today, but we're doing 5 cards. I can understand. Now, just a reminder while you're finishing up that card, we do have our... both stores have our YouTube up that is for our Crafty Hour creations. So we are saving those to our Crafty to our YouTube. So I still see a lot of people that are like, where do I find Crafty Hour number 57? If you go to our YouTube channel, that's where you're going to find everything. Once we're done this one, it does take a couple of days. Sometimes it will get it up there, so it will be available here. But just remember, every time you ask or you think, where's Crafty Hour number 13? Where's Crafty Hour number 60? It'll all be on the YouTube channel. We have posted the links to that, so if you favorite it, you'll be able to find them nice and easy. So just wanted to touch base on that so that you guys know where to find them. Both Courtney and I have the YouTube channel up. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Now the next couple I totally changed up because it was so boring. So here's what you need to find. We're going to use the burgundy, redwood, I think it's called, redwood pattern again. So that is this one. This is going to be our card. I'm going to do it with the solid side face out for this one. Again, your choice. Totally up to you. Going to make sure I have the pattern inside. You also are going to, oh no, we're going to cut this from your scraps. You're also going to have the mushroom paper. Mushroom paper. So have a look. It looks like this. It's got the plaid on the back side, mushroom on one side. We're going to use that. And then from your scraps, you had leftover paper of this redwood. So let me bring this in. This is the redwood that you cut, and you just cut 2 bases. I want you to find this piece because we're going to cut a piece of this pattern just to give it an anchor. All right, so go through your scraps. Hopefully you got your scraps handy. Go through your scraps. And I want you to cut a piece of this burgundy to 2 inches by 5 1/4. 2 by 5 1/4. You did not do that for homework. I did, you did not. So find your large scrap. Should be in your leftover pile. You already cut 2 pieces, so you're going to have a nice chunk of it left. You're going to have all of this, which is going to be 3 1/2 inches. And I want you to cut a piece that is 2 by 5 1/4. Now, while you're doing that, I'm just going to talk a little bit. You can absolutely go ahead and glue that on. I am going to use a foil this time because, of course, why not? I'm going to use a foil, and I am going to use, I have one of the Hunky Dory. It's kind of a red-ish, burgundy-ish foil. Red foil will work. I'm going to use that. It's going to look like that. But again, if you don't have that and you have gold, gold will work really nicely, or don't. Just glue it together. Now, if you are going to use one of the foils or one of the glitters, whichever choice, it is that same measurement. These are all A2 size cards. So you guys know that measurement very, very well now. Okay, it's going to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Totally up to you. Having variety of foils is always a good thing. So let's glue that together. And then we're going to go ahead and glue it onto our card. And again, that foil or glitter, whichever is your choice, it just pops the card. It really stands out. You can see it. And that's what I like. I like giving my eye just a little break on that. Also makes the card a little bit stronger because they are just using their solid basic paper, which can be a little wimpy for me, especially when I'm so used to creating heavier weight cards. Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to do that. And I totally changed this card. Now let's see if I remember what I did when I changed this card. No guarantees. For this little piece here that I had you cut, I am not going to add foil. I'm just going to attach it across my card with foam tape. You can add foil if you wish. But I'm just going to add foam tape. You can go flat, you can go foil. This card, I should show you the picture of this card. It was really plain, so I thought we needed to just do a little change. Question is, do I remember our change? All right. So keeping my eye on the clock, we are going to take this big one that says, go to your happy place. So if you can find this, it should be, it might be in your sentiments. I can't remember now. I mixed all mine up. So find that one that says, go to your happy place. And let's just find all of them while we're at it. We want the double mushroom. It's a big one. We want the fern. We want a brown butterfly. A white daisy with a green center. And the word nature. Those are what I'm going to use on this card. Changing it up completely. Because why not? Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to get that on. And then we will work through how we're going to do this one. Wait till you see the next one. I totally changed it up too. It just needed something. All right, getting my foam tape ready. You also are going to have a lot of sentiments that are great for inside your card. Again, I would hang off on doing that until you've done Courtney's cards, because that will just be a little easier. Okay, so what we're going to do, give you a little heads up. We're going to put this one here. We're going to bring this mushroom. We're going to kind of have that mushroom hanging over the edge. We're going to bring up our greenery off to that side as well. Then we're going to add our words and our butterfly. So we need to do a little bit of work first. We're going to start with our mushroom. Mushroom is going to go flat. Now I'm only putting adhesive kind of on the left side because I know that my mushroom is going to hang off the edge a little bit. So I'm just going to do it kind of like that. Okay, I have mine on a slight angle. Then I'm going to take my foam tape. Whoops, I just pulled one of my enamel dots off that was on my... I'm going to take my foam tape and I'm going to put some foam tape on the back side. Now when I go to attach it, I'm not going to push down really hard because I still have a couple of little things I want to stuff under, so I want to make sure I've got it in the right place. So I'm just going to gently put it on, but not press it down. Gently put it on, just don't press it down too hard, because we're going to slide this guy underneath. And so you might need to lift this up a little bit. This is your fern. I'm going to do my fern flat, so just a tad bit of glue on that little guy. And I'm going to stick it right underneath like that. So let me bring this in and show you. I've got my mushroom flat. I've got my happy place foam taped. And then I have my greenery here popped up. Okay. Let's see, what do we want to do next? How about our nature? So we're going to take our nature. I'm going to put some foam tape behind it. And I'm going to put nature like so. So it's just hanging over onto the mushroom a little bit. Go ahead and add that. Okay, now we have this little daisy. And again, we can do a couple things. We can hide it back there. I think I'm going to pop it up right there. But we have lots of options wherever you think if you want to stick it back there. I'm going to add it I wonder if I should stick it. I might stick it. So I'm going to do double foam tape. Here's what I'm going to do. Double foam tape. And I'm going to put it on right on the edge, technically on my fern. Okay, so not on the happy place, but technically on the fern. And then I'm going to have it so it kind of hangs over there. Now, where shall I put him? I think, nope, I think I like him right here. You may not. I'm going to put him right here on that mushroom. So this is the brown butterfly. And again, I've puffed the wings up and just one pop dot right on his body. And we're going to, I'm going to put him right on the edge. I do cover up the mushroom though. Maybe I'll put it a little bit further down. Let me see. Do I like it somewhere else? Oh, I kind of like it there, which is really odd for me because I don't usually like my butterflies flying off the card. But I kind of like it there. Is that weird? Oh, see? Even I changed my mind. I'm going to fix this little guy and have him stuck down a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like him over there. So that's that card. Do you guys want to see what the original card looked like? Maybe you'll like the original card better. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Let me know. I can show you the original. We got one more card to do. We got 10 minutes. Can we do it? We've got 4 cards done. You guys are a quiet batch today. Quiet batch. Let me know. It's a lot of cards today. I get it. All right, we are going to work. That's 4 cards done. We're going to work on our last card, which again, I completely changed. And we are going to need one of our scraps of paper as well. So for this card, let me make sure I got all my goodies. Yeah, there we go. For this card, we're going to use the dark brown card base. Dark brown card base. And we are going to use the brown pattern that's got the hare and the birds and the deer and the fox. Ooh, that's pretty too. Geesh, you know, I might really go rogue. Would that be bad? I might really go rogue. I kind of like the back. Is that crazy? You do what you want, but I think I might do the green. I just flipped it over and saw it. And I'm like, hey, I like that. But you can do this one. That's what happens when you change it up. And then I want you to find some of your green scrap because I'm going to have you cut a little piece of green. Now I am going to use gold as well, gold foil, because I can. Why not? So this little green piece is 1.5. The green is 1.5 by 5.25. Do that. So go ahead and cut that little piece. Sometimes I notice, here's a little tip while you're doing that. Sometimes I notice when I cut with my big trimmer, this is why I like my guillotine, and maybe you guys can relate. Maybe it's just me being weird. Sometimes I can feel like a little lip on my paper. So I cut this with the pattern side up and I can feel a little lip. I don't know if that ever happens to you when you cut with a trimmer, like a drag trimmer. But if that ever happens and you have the Teflon bone folder, good gracious, you can just smooth those out by pressing that down with the bone folder and it will take that edge away. I do recommend a Teflon because it won't mark your paper. Not all bone folders are good quality and some of them you'll actually get a mark on your paper. But the Teflon, which is a forever tool, will just take that edge off. And it could be just me being weird. Could be. All right. So that is the green we have cut from our scraps. And we have our papers. We're going to start with our card. I'm going to put solid side up, so I'm double checking my pattern inside. Give your card a fold. And your choice, you can use brown face up or green face up. Your choice. I am also going to use gold. Again, you don't have to. Ooh, watching the time. So I'm going to cut my gold to the same as what I've always been cutting. If you don't want to use gold, then I encourage you to just go ahead and glue whichever side up you want. It's going to be kind of fun to see what options we have. I am now totally winging it. Totally, you are getting me raw. So glue those on. And tonight, I'll take pictures and post my cards. I won't have a chance today during the day because we've got a heck of a lot to do at work here. Okay, and then I'm going to glue it on. So you can have animals face up, which is how Simple Stories originally did it. I like the green face up. It works for me. Okay. Just like that. Your choice. Now, I'm going to keep motoring so that I can get through these cards. We're going to be putting down the green across. I am going to add some gold just because I have some gold available. So that gold is going to be, let's see, 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. Again, not mandatory. I just happen to have a piece of this left over, so why not? Just over 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. You know, it's kind of like adding spices to your cooking, right? Maybe you don't have to, but might taste a little better if you do. Right? It's totally up to you. All right. Perfect. So what I've added gold to the mat. I did mine green side up, although they did theirs animal side up. Totally. That sounds like a funny thing. Then I cut a spare of green, 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, and I matted that on to our gold. Now I'm going to foam tape it to the card. Totally going rogue. I don't know. We'll see how this works. Totally winging it today. I did do my homework, though. On Sunday, I had it all organized, and now I'm just, woof. And I'm going to come up maybe about 1/2 inch. Yep. About 1/2 inch up. Is that straight? Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring these in. These are the die cuts I have used. And I'll walk through them in a sec. This is totally going to be different. You'll want to see the original card on this one because it doesn't look anything like it. So we've got the big floral with the little squirrel. We've got the word adventures. We have a big butterfly that is multicolored. And then I chose 3 flowers, and I chose 3 different flowers, 3 different colors. One is orange, it's the bigger. One is kind of coral, and one is green. And those 2 are a little smaller. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to attach this far to the right-hand side. I am going to do it flat on the bottom, foam tape on the top. So I'm going to put a piece of foam tape across the top. And on the bottom, I'm just going to do some glue. Foam tape on the top. And I'm going to put my little squirrely guy right to the edge. Then I'm going to take my word adventures, and I am going to take that all the way across, just like so. And I am going to put it right about like that. Oh, I love it. Now let's see if I remember what I was going to do with all of these. I think I was going to have that there, and I think I was going to have these kind of like so, but maybe I'll change my mind. I apparently am doing that today. Yeah, we'll do it like that. So I'm going to do the bigger flower first. A little bit of glue, just a little. And I'm going to put it right on the edge. Then I'm going to take, let's say, my green one. And I'm going to put that, let's see, maybe, I think I'm going to have to add a little foam tape behind there. Because why not? Pick this up. There. And I think this guy needs to be flat too. We're just going to create little flowers. He's going to be flat too. So the only one that's going to get foam taped is that green one. I'll bring this closer so you guys can see. You know, I laugh because every once in a while somebody will say, oh, I love to see how you create. No, you really don't, because, you know, I change my mind and I do things and I swear a lot. All kinds of fun things. Wait till you see what this original card looked like. Whew, I got 1 minute, folks. Now this butterfly's pretty big, so I am going to fold him up, and I'm going to put a couple little pop dots on his body. Give his wings a little poof poof. And I'm going to put him right like that. That one's done. We got 5 cards done, folks. Oh, how about we add some enamel dots to this card? So if I go to my enamel dots, I am going to take a large green. Yeah, this is going to jazz it right up. Large green, medium blue, and how about a small rust, that small coppery rust. Ah, yeah. Look at that. Ooh, you know what else you could do? You could always put, if you have leftovers, you can put them inside. That would look adorable. You might not have leftovers unless you bought an extra one. I have leftovers. I bought an extra one. So I'm going to add those just so I can show you what they look like. Don't you do it until after Courtney's, because Courtney will kill me if I use up what she needs. You know what? I think I just realized I don't think I'm getting comments. That's what I think. Yeah, see, I didn't see those. Ah, that's interesting. All those comments just popped up. I wasn't getting comments. That's why I thought you guys were all quiet. I'll go back and show you that card because I see Kathy said, yes, please. Now, don't do this because you'll get me in trouble. But after, when you're all done, you can always go and put little glossy dots inside. So let me show you what this card originally looked like. Maybe you like the original better. They're completely different. But this was the original. What do you think? Completely different. I did not like the blue on this paper, so that's why I changed it. And I didn't want to use the ribbon. And I thought that mushroom coming out sideways was a little wackadoodle. But that's just me. That's just me. Maybe you guys like that one better. This is why we change things up. I don't know. You tell me. Let's have a vote and see. I won't be hurt. I promise. Promise I won't be hurt. So that's what that original one looks like. And then, where's the other one that I changed up? Oh, this one. Do I have? Oh, so I changed this one up as well because it was so boring. Look at it. All it was the paper and then those 3 die cuts. It was kind of boring. So that was just me. So it's good for you guys to see that you do not have to do what Courtney and I do. You do not have to do what Simple Stories tells you to do. You do not have to do what anybody tells you to do. You are your own creator and you know what you like. So those were two that I completely changed up, especially this one. I did not like the blue on the brown. And now that I flipped it over, I love the green. I love it. It would work with the brown, but I love it. Okay, so a couple that we changed up. So let's bring in all 5 cards. And that's not a diss to Simple Stories at all. I want you guys to know that you can always change these cards up. You don't have to do what Courtney does. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do what Diane does or Jen does. You don't have to do what Simple Stories does. You do you. That is so important. We all have different visuals that we see, and that's important. All right, there are our 5 cards for today. Now, Courtney's going to come back, and she's going to hopefully get through her 5 cards. It's a lot, but I do want to take a quick sec to talk about tomorrow's release. We are going to be doing a new Crafty Hour tomorrow morning, starting right at 9 a.m. Clipper Street will have links to share with you. We are working on that right now. So you'll have to come to our live. I am going to tell you, it is a big kit. Courtney and I were able to get this kit at a wicked price. Wicked. And we are going to offer you it at a wicked price. It is not anything we've ever done before. It is not what you, how can I put it? It's not what, we're not going to do what you think we're going to do with it. It's pretty exciting. There will be add-ons, but Courtney and I have decided that we're going to do it later because mine, I have half my shipment here. The other half is still in transit because they arrived, to give you an idea, my shipment is 2 skids. Skids, not 2 boxes, 2 skids. Whew. So 1 skid I have already. 1 skid is still on its way. So you're not going to want to miss out on tomorrow's live. It is limited. We may be able to get more, but probably only tomorrow. I wouldn't wait until next week. They probably won't be available at that time. We will have the links for you during our Crafty Hour. We don't panic, okay? We will make sure that you get all of that as soon as possible. All right, I'm going to sign off. I'm a few minutes late now. Look forward to seeing Courtney's cards at 5 o'clock Pacific over on her page, Scrapbook and Memories. Facebook page, that's 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll see what she creates, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for New Crafty Hour. Bye-bye.